Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Vincent Campbell. I am the Director of Media PGT Programmes for the School of Arts, Media and Communication at the University of Leicester. And today I'm going to be talking to you about our Master's Programmes in Media and Communication that we currently offer. First of all, just a few comments about the global standing position at the University of Leicester. As you can see here from a variety of different sources, we have a very high standing both globally and nationally within the UK. We're particularly proud of the institution as a whole being in the top 10 for research excellence, and I'll come back to the specific position of media and communication later on. Currently, going into 2026, we will be offering 5 Media Masters Programmes: the MA Communication and Media, MA Digital Media and Society, the MA Media and Advertising, the MA Global Media and Communication, and the MA Media and Public Relations. I'm going to be talking today about the campus-based version of this. There is a distance learning version that a colleague of mine has produced a separate video about. So the MA in Communication and Media, to start with, is an evolution really of what was the first ever Media Masters programme in the UK, originally the MA in Mass Communication. And the idea of the programme is that it provides you with a comprehensive grounding in theories and research in the analysis and understanding of media and communication processes in national and global contexts. The core modules you'll be doing on this programme from 26 onwards will be Media and Communication Theory, Contemporary Issues in Media and Cultural Studies, Media Audiences and Users, Strategic Communication Management, and particularly new for 26-27 onwards is the module called AI Global Media Communication. Media Research Methods is a methods module that all students and all our programmes will do, and I will come back to a little bit later. So the point of this programme really is to give you a core grounding in a range of issues around the production, policy context, political context of media and communication industries, as well as looking at issues of representation, identity, and aesthetics around media. It'll be looking at audiences and reception and consumption of media, and particularly the role of AI across a lot of these issues, as well as in a specific module. The second programme I want to talk about is the MA Digital Media and Society. This, as the name suggests, is slightly more heavily focused on digital media specifically. And again, the idea is to provide a comprehensive grounding, but here in digital media technologies and their impact on society, culture, politics, and human psychology. The core modules you'll be doing on this programme will be the sociology of digital media, the politics of digital media, online persuasion and behavioural change, critical approaches to data analytics and the digital economy, digital media in everyday life, and again the research methods module. You'll see from those titles that this is a slightly narrower focus, so if you're particularly interested in digital media, if you have a background in digital media in any way, shape or form, you're welcome to apply for this programme. You don't need a degree in computer science or an undergraduate degree in digital media to take this programme. You don't need to have studied it before, but most of us have lived digital lives these days, so it's a particularly prescient programme to study, and of course AI features heavily across all of these modules as well. The MA Media and Advertising is a slightly more practically focused programme, although again it's conceptual and theoretical, and it's designed to try and equip you with a combination of the theoretical and practical research skills to understand and critically evaluate advertising. The modules here, the core modules, are Advertising in Society, which looks at historical and contemporary issues, Advertising for a Client, which is one of the modules we're most proud of. Currently working with NHS, it's a module designed for students to produce content to an external client brief, so really industry-centred, industry-focused. There are also modules on Analysing Meaning in Advertising, Advertising and Promotion in the Digital Age, and Advertising Creativity alongside the Research Methods module. So you can see a clear strand of advertising theory and practice in that programme. The MA Global Media and Communication, I think, is our second longest running program. It's been running, I think, since the 1990s in one form or another. And here the distinct focus is on the relationship between processes of globalization, media and communication, and their diverse impacts on social change and social and cultural change, which particularly in the last few years with the rise of social media has been profound and significant. The core modules you will study on this program are global digital cultures, global media structures and representations, global communication and development, which is an area of research expertise in our school, global affairs, actors, communication and culture, and again AI, global media and communication and media research methods. Communication and development is a particular area of research expertise, as I just said, amongst our scholars here. And this, again, is a program with a long-standing and high-quality staffing who are global leaders in this field in particular. All our staff are global leaders in some way, shape or form, but particularly on this program, I think the people teaching this program are highly specialised or very well regarded internationally. And finally, the MA Media and Public Relations. A bit like the MA in Media and Advertising, this is a slightly more practice-phase, profession-based program than some of the others, but it is also conceptual and analytical. So it focuses on theoretical frameworks that analyse both the principles and the practices of public relations, examining the structural relationships between PR and the media, and PR as a social and cultural phenomenon. As I mentioned, there is a distance learning version of this program which you can find information out about elsewhere. Core modules include public relations, culture and society, PR, journalism and network media, strategic communication management, digital media, online persuasion and behavioural change, and health communication theory and practice alongside research methods. So although this programme includes a lot of conceptual material about public relations and its relationship to society, there are practical skills within it. For instance, strategic communication management includes practical work and exercises relating to crisis communication, reputation management, image repair, and issues like that. As you'll see, there's a health communication module specialism available here as well, which also deals with practical issues around things like pandemic information, for instance. Now, a key part of all of those programs, as you might have noticed, some of them shared some core modules, is that they all offer optionality as well. In each semester, on every program, there is one optional module choice, and those choices come from the modules available in other programs. So, for instance, if you're doing the MA Media and Advertising and you like the sound of health communication theory and practice, you can pick that as an optional module. Similarly, if you're doing the MA Media and Public Relations and you're interested in advertising for a client, you'd be able to take that module. So there's a real sense, which has been a long-standing feature at Leicester, of ensuring there's interoperability between the different modules of different programs. So you might pick a particular strand, a particular pathway in digital media or advertising, but you will have opportunities to experience some of the other strands as well. There are 2 intakes as well, so you can start in September and you'll go through a 12-month cycle there, 2 semesters, a summer where you'll be doing your dissertation and completion in the following September. Or you can start in January and you'll do your second semester first, in effect, then do the next semester in the autumn of the following year and do your dissertation from January to about the end of March, April of the following year. So it's a slightly longer time span if you start in January, but the content is exactly the same and the expectations requirements are exactly the same otherwise. You will engage in small group teaching, which is the ideal form for master's teaching. There are some programs which will have hundreds of students. You don't get a very personalised experience and the quality of work can potentially suffer. We've experienced that ourselves here at Leicester. These days we have much smaller groups, which is leading to much better outcomes for our students. There are lectures, seminars, workshops, tutorials, a whole variety depending on the modules you'll be doing. There are also diverse assessments as well, again depending on the programme and the specific module options that you pick. But there's a lot of written work, essays, reports, but also things like presentations, both individual and group presentations, reflective assignments, and some creative work depending on the modules that you select. And all of our programmes offer formative assignments and class-based exercise. So formative work is when you do a piece of work, but you get feedback on it, but it doesn't count to your final module grade. So opportunities to try things out, to practice things, and learn about the expectations and requirements of a UK-based master's degree. All programmes include the Media Research Methods module, and this is a generic media communication methods module that covers all of the different subject areas and the different methodologies that are used within them. And the end result, or the end aim of that module, is really to lead you to your dissertation, a 60-credit module where you produce a 10,000-word research report. It's on a project of your choice, in an area of your interest, and it involves you going out and gathering real-world field research, whether that's through interviews or surveys or content analysis or any range of number of different methods. You get allocated a supervisor who'll work through that process, and it's a really, really useful way of signalling to a potential employer your ability to understand a topic area or an industry sector in depth and in detail with the analytical skills that people at the master's level are expected to develop. Why Leicester? Well, I mentioned before the university's overall standing in terms of research performance is in the top 10, and one of the leading subject areas within Leicester itself is the media communication division. We were 7th in the Research Excellence Framework, which is the UK-based system for both providing a league table of research quality, but also for research funding. So it's something that's taken very, very seriously. 95% of our research output, so the publications, the journals, the books, the articles, the book chapters we produce, are regarded as being world-leading or internationally excellent. We're extremely proud of that performance. As I said before, we were the first research centre in the UK with the Centre for Mass Communication Research to start studying media communication in an unbroken chain for what is now 60 years of operation. We like to think we offer a real-world focused teaching and research-inspired education as well. This is a mantra from the university, but it's something we've been doing in media communication for a very long period of time. Many of the staff teaching you aren't just academics, in the ivory tower. People have also worked in areas of communication and development, in journalism, in public relations, in advertising, and so on. And that means that the design of our programs, design of our modules reflect that combination of theory and practical materials, industry-facing skills. We provide various layers of support for students on our PTT programs. There's myself as PTT Director, oversees all of our PTT offer. Each program has its own program leader. Modules have their own leaders, and you will get allocated a personal supervisor as well, giving you that one-to-one support throughout your degree studies. Students themselves can act as representatives. Student representatives feature as part of the student union, but also as student staff committees, as conduits to give feedback to staff about your experience and how things are going. Just a reminder that there are a range of scholarship opportunities. These are the current ones that are available there. The Chancellor's International Postgraduate Talk Scholarship and the International Postgraduate Talk Merit Scholarship. There are discounts for family and alumni. And if you're particularly interested in PhD studies after master's study, which many of our students do go on to do, there are a range of different resources out there and potential schemes. Depending upon where you're based and where you're coming from, there are different levels of eligibility for that. They're all things worth looking at. A range of voluntary opportunities and work experience opportunities are here, particularly if you start thinking of starting in January. Over the summer, there are lots of opportunities to work for the university and the wider communities and all sorts of institutions across Leicester, very dynamic and diverse city. Our graduates go into all sorts of different professions, press and broadcasting, digital media, government, advertising, and so on, particularly higher education and administration. One of our media graduates from a few years ago now works for the university as an overseas recruitment agent, for instance. So lots of opportunities there. Leicester itself is particularly well placed. It's just about an hour away from London, but a lot cheaper to live, and is a nicer city, one would argue. It's close to Birmingham and other cities in the West Midlands as well. And it's a prominent city if you like sports, particularly football, rugby, and other sports as well. Last few comments I'd like to make is do go and have a look at our website, look at our X account, Blue Sky account, I believe, and our University of Leicester details are there and available. Thank you very much for your time, and I do hope you consider applying for us, and I look forward to seeing you in 26/7 if you do.